Hello, welcome to Bookworms. I'm your host, Alex, and with me is my brother Joe.
Hello.
And this is the show where we read books, we get together, and then we talk about the books we just read.
Yeah, kind of like a two-person book club that hopefully you will join in with us.
Or not, you can just be a two-person book club and you get to listen to it.
These books we will be deep diving into, so if you haven't read them, you probably don't want to listen to this podcast if you don't want it ruined.
Yeah, this podcast is going to require a little bit of homework, so you're going to need to read some books in order to follow along with some of our conversations.
Yeah, we've picked out 16 books, 8 each of some of our favorite books. We did 7 books that we enjoyed each, and then one book that we're pretty sure the other person's not going to enjoy.
Yeah. Well, I chose 8 books that I enjoy, including one that I don't think you'll enjoy, and you chose 7 books that you do enjoy, and one book that neither one of us is going to enjoy.
You're only saying that because you're on that book now.
Yeah, I'm going to hate you for it.
So, anyways, Alex, why don't you tell us who you are and what you do and why your opinion matters on these books?
So, I am a school librarian. I have been for 7 years at this point. I'm a very avid reader. I read, 100 books a year. I enjoy writing. I enjoy anything that has to do with literature. The reason I'm here talking into a microphone right now is because after all this reading and writing that I do, I want to share out my thoughts and opinions, give criticisms and reviews of these books that I enjoy. Because as much as I enjoy consuming media and learning new things, it doesn't mean much unless you're sharing it out with the world, imparting your knowledge or lack thereof into the world.
Yeah, and for me, I have really nothing to do with books other than I just read a lot. I work for a state agency working outside, but at the same time, it gives me a lot of time to read books. I don't read quite as avidly as Alex. I'm about 50 books to maybe 60 books a year,
You got
depending
that
on what my children let me read.
you got that cushy state job. You should have plenty of time to read.
I, yeah, it's not like a librarian job where I'm literally paid to read.
Yeah, fair
But
enough.
I decided, hey, this would be a good podcast to try because, well, I listen to a lot of podcasts, watch a lot of YouTube, and for the books side of stuff, there's not really a lot covered in the stuff that I enjoy or Alex enjoys. It's a lot of what's coming out right now or the pop books that people love, like Twilight or Harry Potter, that kind of stuff. And
Love
I
Harry
think both
Potter.
of us read kind of, we'll read mainstream stuff, but there's also a lot of stuff that just doesn't get the attention that we think it deserves.
Yeah, and you'll see that with our book selections. You'll see, some of the world's best-selling literature, and you'll also see forgotten classics or relatively unknown books by underground authors. It's going to be a really fun mixed bag
Yeah, and
to.
you'll definitely get a sense of what both of us enjoy. We definitely have different tastes. Or I tend to run in the fantasy sci-fi world. Alex is more in the deep literature stuff.
Yeah, I enjoy a good mystery. I also love sci-fi as well, but yeah, we do have different interests. I've worked with children for a large chunk of my life at this point, and I really love children's literature. So we're gonna be reading some of that.
Yeah, me and Alex have a book reading competition, and I still say he cheats with all the kid books he claims into that competition.
Hey, there's still like 300 pages. It's not my fault. There's only like 100 words on each page.
But anyways, that's a little bit about us, why we're doing this. Why don't we get into what's our first book gonna be?
Our first book is going to be I call it one of those lost classics. It's by one of the most successful writers in the modern era, champion of literature, champion of television and movies. The book is Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, so we'll give you 1 month to read the book, and then we'll put out our next podcast where we discuss the book. And we hope you guys enjoy.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's definitely one of our favorite authors for sure. So, if you want to reach out to us, you can. So, our email is kendallbookworms@gmail.com. That is KENDALLBOOKWORMS@gmail.com. And please drop us a comment if you would like, wherever you downloaded this podcast from. Rate and review. Please be kind. We are both fragile individuals.
Joe will cry.
It's something I do often.
It's a sight to behold.
It's ugly.
I always feel bad for him. I see him crying. He's bawling his eyes out, and I go up to him and I put my hand on his back and I say, "Can you do that outside?"
Which then I just cry louder and more obnoxiously.
And then I go outside.
So anyways, we hope to have you listen to us next month.
Yeah. And until then, this has been Bookworms.